That's all for you. Yeah, yo. There whenever it matters, and even more when you feel like it doesn't. Protect you so you never feel like you wasn't. Know I'm right alongside you. Either that or I'm behind you, but always got you. End of discussion, nothing means more. First one to offer is shoulders for what you reach for. Thought I saw the eyes of the world until I seen yours. And know that I ain't see a better view yet. I'm with whatever, so don't ever you fret. Know that you covered, not a hurdle or a heartbreak. A change what a partake, cause none of them won't ever get comfortable in your walkway. My job is to aware you, fully loaded, prepare you for all of the above that I'm never letting get near you. But still in all, give you every advantage I found. Couldn't find a better fit for them, along with my crown. And since the baton was passed, I've been down. Cause failing's not an option, and dad is not a noun, not at all.
Let his son feel different as he goes through medical treatments. Robert Selby says 3-year-old Chace has had 2 open heart surgeries in his life so far. Because he never learned to suckle while recovering, a feeding tube had to be inserted into his abdomen.
Good to go. You good?
He still has it today because he's a picky eater and he's underweight. But Robert says he wants his son to feel confident, so he told Chace his scars give him superpowers. This dad even glued a feeding tube opening to his own stomach to show he had superpowers too. He posted this photo of them to Instagram and says the response has been overwhelming. Robert says even though Chace has gone through some tough times, he wanted his son to know he'll never have to go through them.
Thanks, Mark.
Oh, you do?
Down to business, man. You guys went from being a viral sensation. Now you guys are doing documentaries. How did that transition work for you guys?
Hold on, ask me that question again. I'm sorry.
No problem. You guys
break it up a little bit.
Yeah, no problem. I'll bring it up a little bit closer. You guys went from viral sensation to now being in a big documentary. How was that transition like? How did you smoothly transition into that field?
It was a smooth transition, and like I said, it was unexpected and stuff like that, because I tell people when they say that you go viral, like, oh, you went viral. I like, to me, we went like it's like different levels to going viral. To me, it's like super viral. Then it's like, oh, you just went viral for like a day or so, whatever. Cause you see people that go viral and they be on Ellen, they be on all like Steve Harvey shows, you know, they be in other things and stuff like that. So with our viral sensation or whatever, it's just like, you know, it was like a buzz for like a few days or a few weeks or whatever, but it wasn't like nothing for like us being actually on like major TV to get major interviews and stuff like that or whatever. So to me, like I said, I was blessed. I was great because I wasn't looking to go viral. Like I said, I just posted the same picture of me and my son for bringing awareness to his condition and stuff like that. Right. And just so happened, like I said, the right person saw it, went viral, and then the transition from that to certain people that's asking us like, oh, you know, could we do an article about you? Or can we do a story about this about you? Can we put you in like one of our publishings in our books? I'm like, okay, no problem, you know. So it has been like a smooth transition, but it's been spread out throughout the years and stuff like that too. So like I said, we went viral 2017. Right. It is 2020 that this movie came about and stuff like that. So it's a big gap, and it's a lot of stuff that transpired in between that, a lot of highs and a lot of lows and stuff like that. But you know, I enjoyed the ride because we are here now.
That's right, man. But also too, you got everybody coming at you. Can you be a part of my brand? Can you be a part of my book? How do you kind of assess which ones sticks to your brand and not go with the one and say, you know what, even though it pays a lot, but I got to refuse it because it doesn't coincide with my messages. So how do you kind of establish the difference?
And that's a good question, because I do have like a lot of people ask me like, no, can you put this on your page and put that on your page? And I, like I said, dude, again, I have to deny them because I'm like, our page is about bringing awareness to my son's cause. Like, what is me promoting? This has to do anything with our cause and stuff like that or whatever. Yes, it might pay the bills and stuff like that, but I didn't want to turn our page into something else and just take away from the whole message from there and stuff like that or whatever. So I always tell people, sometimes it ain't all about $1. It's all about the message and stuff like that. So if you just stay true to your core values and stuff like that, you know, something big along will come and will show you like, okay, this is for your brand, and this is for this and stuff like that. And again, like it has been a few things that I have denied. I'm like, no, I cannot do that. I cannot promote this on my page and stuff like that. You want me to promote, you know, a rap video and stuff like that? You know, my page ain't about that. You know, you want me to promote the hair products and stuff like that? My page ain't about that or whatever, stuff like that. And, you know, if it had to do with something with like maybe my son hair or stuff like that, cool, but not like, you know, the stuff that you like selling this and that. Like, so I'm like, no, I can't do that. Even though they're like, oh, we would pay you. It's cool, but no. And like I said, again, I just didn't want to turn out his page or take away from the message. Just like your platform or whatever, like that isn't it now. You got a platform, you got a certain thing that you got going on. And you like I say, you just never want to take away from the actual message from great fathers out there to just be like all about politics and stuff like that. You're like, hold on, you know, like I say, you got people that you got the wrong people that will come to your page, and then it just takes away from everything or whatever.
It takes away from the message. Yeah, I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that. And then the one thing too is that's the one thing I'm still learning about branding. It's not a quick race. It's a marathon. It takes time. You may not see the success when you want it, but if you stay true to your conviction, you'll see it progress slowly. But at the end of the day, it'll be well worth it because you stuck to your guns. And you know, that's the frustration thing about branding. Like you got everybody coming at you, and you're like, damn, I got rent due. This will help a lot. You know what I mean? But at the same time, you're like, I have this message and I got to stick to it. If I do one thing, it's going to mess up the whole purpose of why I started it in the beginning. So I feel you on that.
Right. And then like I said, I totally agree with that, because it has been a few times the way I did post something on my page, and then maybe like a couple of days it just didn't sit well, and I'm like, nah, let me take it down. Like this ain't it. Even with some of the videos that I be doing or whatever, like I said, I do videos just to inspire other people when they come to our page or whatever. They were like, oh, you know, my kid is going through this, but oh man, look at his kid. His kid got the same thing, but look at him. He having fun. He's in activities. I never knew that he could be in activities. I never knew that he could do this and have this type of life or whatever stuff, because all this is like, my baby was just born and he's going through all these issues and stuff like that. So that's why I made sure like I just make it fun, lighthearted and stuff like that. So when they come to it, they can have like a great laugh. I know they're stressed out, and I always tell the parents that's on our page, I'm like, I know what y'all going through. I know what y'all like. Trust me, them nights that I was crying, the nights that I was in like a dark room or a dark space or whatever, like beat my head up against the wall, like I've been there or whatever. But if you just hold out, like you said, not a sprint, a marathon. If you just hold out and just see and keep putting the time and energy into it or whatever, they will jump over those hurdles or whatever. They would thrive and stuff like that. All the setbacks that they had, they would just flourish and stuff like that. But you can't see it right now because all you're looking at is today. You can't see tomorrow or next week or whatever. And I remember one of our doctors said the same thing about his heart condition and stuff. That he was like, that, you know, his recovery is not based on weeks, hours, or days or whatever. It's based on months and years and stuff like that. So when he started breaking it down like that or whatever, I had like a better understood and whatever. I'm like, yo, I'm looking at my son like he all messed up and jacked up. Like, you know, what can I expect or whatever? He like, well, you can expect, just take it one day at a time. That's what you can expect. Like, you know, just take it like that. And then next thing you know, it's 7 years later. You know, my son is like off to the races. So I'm like, did I look back at it when he be talking to me? And I'm like, yo, where's that little baby at, man? Like, you know, all the big words and stuff he was saying. I'm like, oh my gosh, like you was like gaga goo goo. Man, you like, yo, daddy, blah 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 blah, just reciting stuff to me. I'm like, wow.
That's so true. Okay. Yeah. For real, man, for real. But let's get down to the movie. All right. Is this your first ever documentary like this, or have you guys done anything in the past that was kind of under the radar?
We have never done anything like this ever. Like, we've never been in a feature film, document, or nothing like that. This is like our very first thing ever for like big time and stuff like that. So I'm super excited.
And then quick question, has like family members that you haven't talked to in a minute start calling you since they see the show?
I know they're probably listening, so I'm not gonna say, but
Because you knew that was gonna come up when that trailer hit, right?
Yeah, I was on my Facebook. I see all these friend requests. I'm looking at the last name, like, who are you? But then you see like you see like who they recommended like with or whatever, like their family member. I can tell because they got like a lot of our family, and I'm like, but I don't know you or whatever. So I reach out. Yeah, I reach out to them like, yo, do you know this person or whatever? Like, oh yeah, that's such. I'm like, why?
And they're trying to break something. You remember, like we were like 3 years old, and we showed we showed the icy together. Like,
yeah, I'm like, yeah, I remember that. I remember that.
Yeah. But that's crazy, man. But that's the beauty of that. You know, you stay humble because sometimes when you get an opportunity like that, people start getting big heads, and they're like, oh, now I'm like a diva now, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's good that you guys stay well grounded. But how did you link out with Bryce Howard, who is the son of the legendary director Ron Howard? How did you guys link up?
Oh, so to take you back to that, like one day, like I said, I was just, on Instagram, I check my DMs from time to time and stuff. And a guy, Walter, hit us up. It was Walter and Elizabeth. I forgot Elizabeth's last name. So I'm sorry, Elizabeth, if I'm missing. I was trying to like find it real fast in my emails or whatever. But Walter Madison, he hit me up with like a DM. And he was like, how you doing? My name is this or whatever. I'd like to talk to you about putting in like a documentary. That's why he said it was like a dad documentary or whatever. I'm like, well, all right, cool documentary, like a little movie. I'm thinking it's gonna be like on a lower scale of things, because you got all type of documentaries or whatever, to where I could do one myself, me and you a documentary, and just put it out on YouTube, and that'd be it, or to our fan base or whatever, and that'd be it or whatever. So I'm like, okay, like after like a few DMs back and forth, I'm like, here my email, we could go from there or whatever. So we went back and forth with a few emails, and this was 2018. So this is probably like August, I want to say, like July, August of 2018. That he reached out away, we started talking. So after maybe like 1 or 2 emails, like, yo, can we do like a Skype, or can we call, like, do like a phone interview? I'm like, okay, sure, no problem or whatever. So when he called me, he said, I just want to talk to you for maybe like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I said, yeah, I got time. And at that time, I was actually at my son boxing class or whatever. So as he in that boxing, I stepped out or whatever, and I was just talking to him, and it went from 20 minutes to 2 hours. Like we were just talking, and it's like, and he was like, man, like, he just kept asking me more questions than I just gave, just like you, like, I'm just gonna rap with you for like a few minutes, and then he just kept going and going and going. And so he's got more intrigued. Then he was like, man, that you're always so happy, you're always so this. And he just asked me all these questions, and I'm like, yeah, but this is my life. I'm not gonna lie about it. Like, this is what happened with me and my son. This is how I felt about being a dad. This is how I feel about it now. This is what's going on now and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, So he's like, well, right now, we're interviewing like a lot of people or whatever. So, but I'm just gonna put you down. And you should hear back from me, yay or nay. I'm like, all right, cool. That was that. So maybe like I want to say like a few weeks later, he hit me up. He's like, okay, well, I talked to Bryce. I'm like, okay, not knowing like who we really talking about or whatever. Like, yeah, I talked to like, all right, Bryce, okay, cool. Like, yeah, I talked to Bryce or whatever. And I told her everything about what's going on with you, whatever. She's like, yo, go get him. We need him. I'm like, okay. I said, well, I appreciate it. So you like, we should hear from me, within the next few weeks or months. We got like a lot of other candidates and stuff. I'm like, okay, well, we into the film. Cool. Thumbs up. Then again, fast forward a couple of, like, he was talking to us maybe like every few months. So again, it would come and go or whatever, but he always at least reach out to let me know, like, Robert, are you still cool? Are you still down with it? And sometimes I might go like days or weeks without even replying or whatever, because I had other things going on. So he got scared and nervous a little bit because I backed out. I said, no, we good, we straight. He's like, okay, I'm just checking in with you. I just let you know if we got other things going on or whatever. So we're just trying to narrow down some more people. I'm like, all right. Then one day we were just in New York for my son. He had a casting. No, I'm sorry. We was at my son interview for his managers and stuff like that, because like he's acting and modeling, so we had like a few interviews to like find out what agency we wanted to go with and stuff like that. So while we're there, Walt's like, well, I live in New York, can we just sit down and talk a little bit more? And we sat down, and he just started talking to us about the movie and what was going on with it. And then he was like, yo, I'm gonna let you know that we got a few celebrities. I'm like, okay, but you keep saying celebrities, but like who's
Right.
actually in this movie or
Right,
whatever.
right. So you're like,
Then
you're
he just,
thinking about like
yeah,
who's in this? Like
yeah,
who?
yeah. Because he always used to say that as like
Right,
to me like a sale thing or whatever. But he would just never say it. He'd be like,
right,
okay, but don't tell nobody whatever. But like, no, we got Jimmy Kimmel and we
right,
got Conan O'Brien and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Then he be like, right now we're looking to get Kevin Hart in it. I'm like,
right,
are you serious? They be like, oh yeah. Then he be like, looking to get Chris Rock.
right,
What? Dave Chappelle. Then he would just start
right,
naming all these things.
right,
I'm like, oh my God. Like he had like a big
right.
list. So he was trying to
Wow.
narrow down a list or whatever. So he like we trying to schedule with these people and schedule with these people. So right now this is like the core people that we have or whatever. We're trying
Right,
to add more. So but I'm
right.
like, wow. So that's how that kind of came to be, all in a nutshell and stuff like that or whatever. So I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I want to be on this thing, man. You know. So
For
and then he
real,
told me like the
man.
whole. Then he told me like the whole meaning behind it and stuff like that. Then once he started telling me more about Bryce, I started looking around up. I'm like, oh,
Right.
you Ron Howard's daughter? I know Ron Howard.
Yeah.
And yeah. I never put two to two together. So
Right.
yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. And then when the shooting starts, like what was that process like? Was it you like he was like just stay who you are, or was it a situation he's like, can you like do this because the way it's gonna show may make people feel a certain way. So was he cool with he's like, just be yourself, we're gonna film you, do what you guys normally doing every day, or was Bryce like, let's change it up here because how was that process?
I'm gonna totally be honest with you. Everything you see in this movie is authentic. Like
Good,
if you see me yelling and screaming at my son, it's authentic. If you see my
good,
son crying and whining, stuff, it's authentic. Like they never told me to change up anything, whatever.
good.
All they came here to do is hit record. And
Wow.
like however you do your life or whatever. So like the only
Right,
thing, like certain things they asked to do, like they want to get like different angles and stuff like that or whatever.
right,
Because like
right,
maybe my bathroom was too small, so the camera
right,
couldn't fit up in there. So like,
right,
well, hold on, let
right,
me get over here before you start brushing your teeth and stuff. But
right,
that's roughly about it or whatever. But any and everything, like, all the questions they asked me, just everything that's authentic. And I
right,
appreciate it. They never asked me
right,
to change who I am or
right,
change anything about us or whatever. It's like because everything was just on the fly. They hit
right,
record,
right,
and the only time they stopped is when the battery died. And they were like, hold on, wait. Let me change the battery. Okay, now go and stuff like that. So again, I'm like, I appreciate it and stuff like that. Like, like I say, as I can think about it, like nothing we did to where they actually like, no, let's stop and like, how about you say this a little bit different and a little
right,
bit better and stuff like that. No. Like how about I said it, if I got tongue tied it,
right.
hey,
It
they
came
got
out good.
it.
That's good because that's the one thing too is like when you do documentaries like that, you want authentic. You don't because when you watch a documentary, you can know you'll know what's bogus and what's real, and
Yes.
that trailer show authentic on every level, whether A-list or
Yeah.
just the average dad. Because at the end of the day, they're all dads.
Yeah.
Some are well known. But at the
Yeah.
end of the day, their first job is dad. And that's what I got from that trailer. And that trailer is awesome. But also,
Yeah.
how did you feel when you first saw that poster? Because that
Um,
poster is you and little guy. So how did you
yeah.
feel about that poster?
So check this out, right? Check this out. So, I was scrolling because I was trying to look for something, for Dove or whatever and stuff like
Right,
that. So for the past week or whatever, I was just trying to look up some things for Dove and stuff like that. And I've been seeing articles because, like I said, it's been all press week. So I'm
right,
trying to find this, I'm trying to find that or whatever. And all week long or whatever, I see like Bryce Howard interviews or whatever, and they always like either had the cover of it or whatever, or in the article they have like the cover of dads or whatever.
right,
But if you go back, and they probably don't show it now, but if you ever go to Bryce Howard page, on her page, she got a picture of her and her dad with like the yellow background or whatever and stuff like that. They're both sitting in the chair smiling.
right.
That was the cover of dads for like ever since like 2017, 18 and stuff like that.
Okay.
Even though on IMDb.
Right,
So in my mind, like I said again, I'm still thinking about her dad as the front cover, whatever.
right,
All week long, I've been seeing this picture, whatever. But again, I'm just scrolling past. I'll read the article, whatever, or
right,
read some of it. Scroll. The trailer came out June the 11th. But
right,
on my time, it was midnight, so roughly June the 12th or whatever.
right,
On that Thursday, I was just scrolling or whatever, and then I like, oh, I saw like an article. I'm like, you know what? Let me just read this article. And I'm reading and reading and reading. Then it shows the picture of it in the middle. I scroll past it, reading. So as I was scrolling up, I just stopped on the picture. I'm like, and I just looked at it, and it's like a 3D image that actually popped out to me. I'm staring. I'm like, hold on. I'm like this. I stopped. I took a screenshot. I sent it to my son, Mom. I like, yo, all big letters or whatever. She's like, what? I said, yo, look who's on the cover. I like, yo. I said, I think this is the cover of the movie. And it's like, no way. I'm like, yo, that is wow. That is my son. That is me or whatever. I'm like, man, no. I said, you had the back of my head. I don't care. You're not saying that is me. That is him. I'm like, you know what? You know, sometimes people want like proof or whatever. So I'm like, now I got to find a clip and just put together and stuff like that or whatever. But it was like, when I say it was awesome, because nobody at Apple or Dove or anybody I've been talking to for emails had actually told me this or whatever, stuff like that. And I'm like, wow, like, are y'all serious? I'm like, whoever made that call, I just want to let them know, thank you very much, and I am blessed. But then, not just to be on the cover, be on all the digital print from Apple TV to the trailers and stuff like that. I'm like, on IMDb, I'm like, yo, like, little old me, you know, like the face of the movie, man. I'm like, it was an honor, man. It was an honor.
And then also was awesome to see Belief Mel into it too. And what they're doing is phenomenal. And just see him a part of the documentary, like, you guys are basically, when you think about it, when you talk about Black fathers and viral, I think of you guys too, like the trendsetters. Yeah, like the OGs, if you think about it. It's awesome that all the hard work you guys put in, embodied, seeing both of you guys out on that screen, and that was awesome, man. That was dope.
Thank you, and I appreciate it, because he's really cool. And I I didn't know he'd been following me for a while or whatever. It just so happened like in 2019, 2019. They told me that the movie was done or whatever, and the producer Walter, he told me the movie was done, and it was going to the Toronto Festival of Hot Docs, and it was going up for bids or whatever. But honestly, it didn't even make it to there before Apple snatched it up. Like, nobody saw the movie that I knew of. Apple like, yo, I want it. So they took it or whatever. Then they actually showed it at Hot Docs or whatever. But that's when I started looking Belief up or whatever. Like, oh, it's not, he's following me. So we got in contact. We started talking and stuff like that or whatever. Just over the course of like a year and a half, whatever, we just got like more close and more tighter and stuff like that. So yeah, he's an awesome guy. And I always tell him, I'm like, yo, you inspire me. Like, you know, 'cause I see the things that you do and how you do stuff or whatever, and this has my mind is racing and stuff like that. And I remember my son mom, she was telling me, she was like about me always being humble, because honestly, I tell people from the outside, I'm like, yeah, I'm humble, I'm thankful. And the inside, I'm flipping, doing cartwheels, I'm going crazy or whatever. So like, yo, man. And I was like, I said, because you know, it could be here today and gone tomorrow. And she would tell me, like, one of her friends told her, she was like, you know, we don't do much, so I don't know why they picked us. And then she was like, well, you gotta look at it. Y'all are doing a lot of stuff. To your eyes, y'all probably not on the scale that you want to be and stuff, but like, y'all are doing a lot of things with it, and y'all are relatable. Like, you know, they could have picked a Jimmy Kimmel or Conan O'Brien to be the front of the cover, but they are celebrities. Yeah, us people down here can't relate as much or whatever and stuff like. Or they could have used this person or whatever, but like, they're using people that they could actually relate to or whatever. Like, they got bills that's overdue. They got trying to find out their next paycheck and stuff like that. They got to deal with their bosses and stuff like that, or got a bunch of headaches for parenting too and stuff like that. So y'all are relatable or whatever. So it's more to put y'all at the front of the face cover, you know, of this or whatever. So I'm like, when they broke it down like that, I'm like, okay, I could understand and stuff too.
True, and I agree. I totally agree with that. And then also, I just feel like right now, like, Black Joy Magic is profitable, to be honest with you. Like, every time on Twitter, you see a Black father with their child go viral. Like, they're doing songs together, or they're just dancing. Or the one that went viral when the dad dressed up as like a Disney princess. Yeah. With his daughter.
Oh, I didn't see that one. I gotta look that one up.
Yeah, it's just it's profitable. That's why, and it's a beautiful thing too. But at the same time, it goes back to making sure you hold on to your content. You know what I mean? Because for the longest time, the media has been owning the content when it comes to Black fathers. And now with social media, we fathers have that in charge. You know, they don't have to give away content to just make money. They can keep it, like you said, harness your brand. It's not, it's a marathon. It's not, you know what I mean? So, and that's the beautiful thing about it at the end of the day.
Yeah, and just to piggyback off that too, a good friend of mine, Whitney, she told me like a long time ago about like how to like market yourself and stuff like that. And even one time with Charlamagne the God or whatever, I would listen to him break something down or whatever. He like, you know, things have changed to where like as far as like music and stuff, where it really doesn't sell like albums and stuff don't sell, like everything's like digital now, whatever. He said back in the day, you probably would need a label to sponsor you, whatever. Back in the day, you probably would need like a network to carry you, whatever. Now you your own label, you your own network and stuff like that. Where you actually your own brand or whatever. And you put that time and energy into it, they will come to you or whatever. And the same thing I keep telling you, man. I'm like, I feel like I haven't done nothing, or like I said, like little old me, like I don't be doing this, doing that. And like my good friend Marcus Gunter told me like a few days ago, he like, but just look at it, you have been doing stuff, man. I remember when you first started vlogging, you had a cell phone and a selfie stick, and that was you vlogging or whatever. And then I had like a BS little watered down laptop that couldn't do too much of nothing besides cut and paste. And so I'm like, they had no effects or nothing. And I did that for like my first couple of vlogs. Then I worked hard, so I got some overtime. Then I invested into like a camera. Then I invested into this camera. And I just kept going. But he said you did all that without a profit to come in or whatever. Like you spending all this money because you just like vlogging. You know, you had a goal like, you know what, I got a digital diary for my son. I just put it up there so you can see the diary of him growing and him being with family and stuff like that. And so you didn't even look at like you wanted anything back, because people are like, oh, you just put stuff on YouTube and you make money. No, that thing was hard. You know, it was hard to get money off of here and money off of there. So, and people want that instant success or whatever. And I tell people it's never an overnight success. Like you might go from here to there overnight, but you gotta look at all the months and weeks and years you put into it to boom. So right now, like I said, like all this stuff is happening, but I didn't look back at it. Like I've been grinding since my son was like 4 years old. He's 7 now. And like I said, and I did it all because I just like vlogging. I just like doing like little videos. I just wanted for him to look back on or whatever. I didn't look for like a profit in it. And just what happened, people just started looking at me and like, oh, here you go, can I reach out to you for this? I'm like, oh, me? Like I said again, little old me, still in an apartment or whatever. Like I still got to go to work a 9 to 5 and stuff. So I'm like, oh, okay, I appreciate it. You know, y'all look at me like a celebrity, but my son, like, I'm just dad.
And it shows in the video too, and that's the most important thing. And that's the crazy thing is like I'm in the same position you're in now, starting Dad is in now. You know, most of my interviews are from a shitty ass part. I'm sorry about that. From a crappy laptop that's $165. The Zoom video quality is not that great, but I believed in the message, and so like you said, over time, you know, when money start coming, I'll buy the proper accessories to make it look a lot shiny and newer. But for now, it's kind of project-ish, but I'm fine with it. You know what I mean? I'm learning, so it's gonna take time. So it's again, it goes about that marathon, man. If you got the right shoes and the right attire, you prepare yourself for that marathon.
Yep, and I can tell you just as an example, you could buy $5,000 camera, and you can buy a $200 camera. It's all about how you shoot, because I tell people that camera only gonna do one job. That job is just to record. It's up to you to bring that video to life. It's up to you to put that story to where like, man, well, what type of camera you use? My phone. You know, like, oh, what? Like I thought you used this, you know, like, nah, I just edit it on up or whatever. I saw a lot of videos the way you could actually edit videos just on your phone or whatever. So again, sometimes it ain't all about the biggest camera or the biggest lights and all that stuff like that. Like I said, you gotta use what you got, and you gotta learn it or whatever, and you gotta perfect it. Then you're like, okay, like I told you, it was a while before I even upgraded to a big camera and stuff like that. And I'm still, like I said, investing into a lot of my equipment and stuff. But right now, I got a camera. I say, as long as it's shooting 1080p, I'm cool with that or
You cool
whatever.
with
And I
it.
just,
I
yeah,
don't blame you, brother. For real.
and I'll work with it and stuff, man. So yes, again, I still got stuff I've been using for years because again, I got to get the money to buy this and buy that or whatever. But again, right
Mm-hmm.
now, I say if it ain't a need or whatever, which I don't need it, then I'm just gonna keep working to what got me here and stuff like. Then because everybody want to do like 4K. I'm like, okay, but do you got 4K TVs and do you got 4K like phone? Everybody looking at stuff on their phone. Your phone only go by a certain quality anyway. So like me doing shoot stuff in 4K for what?
Right.
1080p is
Yeah.
good right now.
Right
720,
for now.
okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
for real.
so
Because if you
keep
think
going.
about if you think about technology, you know what I mean, just to divert from what we were talking about a little bit,
Yeah,
you know, when you get to Blu-ray, like everybody's like, I gotta have a Blu-ray, gotta have a Blu-ray. And then when Blu-ray drop down in price, I'm like, all right, cool, I'll get a Blu-ray now.
yeah, exactly.
You know?
Right, absolutely right.
You know what I mean? So there's no big deal. So going back to the movie, man, name some of the people in the film.
Um, Oof. Off the top, of course, you got Bryce Howard. She's the director behind it, so she asked a lot of questions and stuff like that. You got Conan O'Brien. You got Jimmy Kimball. You have, of course, myself, Belief. You have what is his name? I think Ateo. I forgot his name. It's one of the dads in the movie. Actually probably got to look it up or whatever.
Okay.
You got Keenan. I forgot his last name too, like Keenan and
Oh,
Kel.
Keaton from
Yeah,
SNL.
yeah, SNL. Yeah, so you
Yeah.
have you have him. You have the guy that was in Hangover. Mr.
The-
Chow.
yes. I know who
Yeah,
you're talking about. Yeah, I don't know his
So
name, but I know who you're
yeah,
talking about. Yeah, he is
exactly,
hilarious. He
exactly.
is.
Yeah. So you got him. We got a few other dads. Oh, there you go. They said his name or whatever. I appreciate it. They're from
Thank you.
Brazil. Yeah. I swear I keep forgetting. I'm sorry, man. I keep forgetting your name, but I'm not that good with names anyway. But yeah, you got a whole lot awesome celebrities in there and stuff like that. So like I said, it's a delightful movie, and you have different perspectives from different dads. Like every
Right.
story is different, and you think that your story is this, but then when somebody else see it, they might gravitate and get something out of it. Just like I got something out of all the other dads that their
Right.
story. I'm like, wow, I didn't think about it like this, or I didn't
Right.
know that you could do this and whatever. So you'll find something, a meaning in this documentary.
And it comes out June 19th, right? And the
Yes.
only way you can get it is through only if you have Apple TV, or is there other ways for people to watch who doesn't have Apple TV?
Yeah, you don't necessarily have to have like the Apple TV on Apple TV, but you can just download the Apple TV app and stuff like that.
Okay.
And you can do like a 7-day free trial. And you can watch it, you watch it like that and stuff, but you're gonna have to have your credit card, on file and stuff like that. But yeah, you can watch it on other platforms. You can have an Android phone, just download the Apple TV app and you can watch it like that. For the people that don't have like Apple TV on their smartphones, on the smart TVs.
So when it released, are you doing a little family screening of it on June 19th?
Oh yes, definitely. Yeah, I was, but some of my family they're doing other things, and of course this COVID happened.
Yeah.
So like I had at first I told my son's school about it, so they had like a whole big thing they want to do at school, to show the movie at his school or whatever. Then the COVID happened or whatever, so of course they shut that down.
Yeah.
Then we had like a world premiere of it here, because
Right.
at first it was a world premiere that's supposed to be in New York, like a red carpet and everything.
Right.
Everybody supposed to came out. They
Right.
shut all that down or whatever.
Wow.
So yes, we're looking into maybe getting like a group of like 5-6 family members, get together and watch the movie and stuff. Cause I have saw it. I've just been blessed to see it twice already or whatever.
Right.
So every time I see it, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I just can't believe like I'm
Right.
actually in this or whatever and stuff like that. Then I tell all my friends, I'm like, it's a difference between a celebrity and me or whatever. Like when you talk to me, you actually know me. I know this guy or whatever. I know this. So I tell people like I am a success story by, like you said, putting in hard work and putting in this time and energy or whatever, to where again 4 or 5 years has passed, then boom, I get this lovely opportunity to be a part of this major movie. And people don't know that it's a Dove movie, but Apple bought it. But it's under the umbrella of Imagine Entertainment. That's Ron Howard company. But what people don't know is Ron Howard started Imagine Document section of it, whatever. this is the very first movie that's under that umbrella, whatever. And for his daughter, to direct it, then it be the very first movie. Then you know you got all this black excellence and black power and black father stuff that's going on right now. It just like everything's coming together at, you know, just the right time or whatever and stuff like that, man. I'm like I said, I'm just so happy and so excited. Even though sometimes I'd be like, oh yeah, you know, it's cool. Like, yo, you don't know, I've been doing backflips. I'm tired right now, like, you know, for flipping and going crazy and stuff, man. There's some of the emails I've been getting now, like, I would like to give you this opportunity. I'm like, what? Like, y'all trying to give me, like, you know, again, I'm like, oh, you don't know, you never know what comes from it. And again, like you said, the same energy you put out, you know, you get back or whatever. I'm like, all I put out is good energy. All I put out, like, happiness and stuff like that or whatever. Like, even though I'm dog tired, because even Bryce Howard, I talked to her, do a Zoom call, and she's like, I'm not gonna lie, I was worried about you at one point in time, so I had to check in on you, whatever, because I heard that you was up for like 35 to 38 hours shooting this document. I'm like, yeah, you know, I'm like, but I was more off of energy and just excitement and stuff like that. I was running on fumes, but I'm like, yo, I'm just happy. I'm happy. And I remember they interviewed me, because it was like a 3-day interview. So like, they follow us around everywhere. And again, go from behind the lens to in front of it. And like me, I don't mind doing it like that or whatever. But when they had to like stop traffic, and then they had to like stop people from going into stores and stuff like that, people like, what is going on? Who is you? I'm like, you know, I'm like, you know, I don't want to like boast a little bit, you know, like, but I'm like, you know, then I remember in a document, you know, like I said, it's like one part. This ain't a spoiler, cause I think it's in a trailer, but or at least they put it on TV or whatever. But this one part, he was in the gym or whatever, but they actually had like to kind of like shut down the gym a little bit, and and all the parents that was inside there, they were like, hold on, what's going on? Why is all these cameras in here and stuff like that? So the producer like, yo, can you sign off on this or whatever, just in case your child might be in it. We might use it, we might not or whatever and stuff like that. Like, well, can you tell us about it or whatever? He's like, well, kind of can't. But then he told him like a little bit what's going on. He's like, oh my gosh, I didn't know. But once I talked to the parents didn't even know that I was the dude that went viral. And once they found out, they're like, oh, I seen you before on TV or whatever. You've been going here for a whole year. That is your son. I'm like, see how humble that's like low key I am or whatever. Like, I come here, let my son play, let my son do these things. Like, you know, he's not a celebrity or nothing, not famous. He's just a kid or whatever. Same thing as me. And they say, oh my gosh, I saw you on this. I saw you on TV. Like, I'm like, yeah, that was us. That was us.
And what I love is I appreciate you doing the push-up challenge. And on that video, when you ask little man, like, hey, you want to do the push-up challenge? He's like, yes, sir. I'm like, yo, that's dope. That's dope. That starts with the father, man. That was powerful. That was powerful right there, man.
Thank you. Because I always call him sir. And, you know, because people even to this day, it's funny. I was just in the grocery store yesterday, and I was in line where they put my stuff right there. He's like, how you doing? I'm like, I'm doing great, sir. How you doing? He's like, oh, you know, you don't got to call me sir. And this kid was every bit of like 16, 17 years old. I'm like, nah, like, you know, I'll call you sir, because I try to give you a little bit of respect or whatever, stuff like that. Like, that's just my way of greeting you and stuff. I said, I greet my son as sir. I greet my nieces as ma'am. Like, yo, yes, ma'am. You know, you need like, they call me like Uncle Robert, like, you know, yes, ma'am. And I told you before, like, I do that because they tell me like I have your full attention, or you have my full attention. Because like I said, right now I'm video FaceTiming with you or whatever, and my son be like, yo, daddy. I'm like, yo, what's up? I'm talking to you, like, but when he said like dad, I'm like, oh yes sir. That means I'm stopping you. Let me the time out for a second. What's going on? And I'm focused on him or whatever. So more of a attention thing, like, you know, you make sure I got your full attention, you have mine and stuff. But I'm glad that you like it. Because I thought about like, oh, you know, it's easy to say, you know, we can just do a little push-up challenge, so you do this, but I want to put like a little bit more extra to it or whatever and stuff like that. Have like a little bit more fun and stuff. And some of the bloopers, man, I'm not gonna lie, like the video that you got, woo, and we tried to do like 3 or 4 times. I haven't worked out in a while, and I'm like, oh, he's a little bit light. After I do like a few of them, I'm like, boom, we messed up. We try to do it again. I got to maybe like 4 push-ups. I'm like, yo, okay. Time out. Let's take out like a 30 minute. Then we came back and tried to do it again. I said, you know what? It's like a whole day now. Like my arms are burning. Like I'm on fire. Like okay, let's wait. So yeah, but yeah, it was funny. It was funny. The
It
little
was
bloopers we
dope, man.
had.
That's the power of editing. Nobody knows.
Yeah.
You should never said
Yeah.
that.
Everybody thought it was a one take. I'm like, no,
Right.
that killed me, boy.
But what do you want people to get out from this film when it drops June 19th?
To me, honestly, you know, I feel like you could get a lot of things or whatever. It all depends on the individual, but just the power of fatherhood and different avenues of fatherhood. You know, because some people always want the dad to do the right things or be the right things, to always be there and stuff like that or whatever. So you might get different perspectives about what a father is or whatever. To me, a father could be, you know, financial. The other parent could be father is present. The other father could be like a drill sergeant, you know, like I got to come down on you, stuff like that. Some fathers could feel like they're going to be more nurturing and stuff like that. So to me, it's all depends on who you are, what you might get out of it. But honestly, like I said, it's a dope documentary. I would say just, you know, look at it a couple of times. Right. And like I said, look at all the stories and look at all the messages and stuff like that or whatever. But to get out of it, just like our fatherhood is like I said, a lot of things. But one thing Bryce Howard said about it, she's like, it's no rite of passage. Like when you are expecting a child, everything is about the woman. The woman, you know, you gotta make sure she's good. You gotta make sure her ankles ain't swollen. You gotta make sure you gotta get up late at night. They give her the ice cream to the, you know, 2 a.m. Like gotta drive to go get this ice cream. She don't want ice cream from this store. She want it from way across, you know, in another state over. Because like that store is better and stuff like that or whatever. So you know, everything is about the woman. And she's like, it's never much about the man. And sometimes like the man's gotta fall back. And this is things that we do as a man. Like, you know what? Yeah, make sure she's good because she's holding life inside her. I gotta make sure she's okay and she's straight and, you know, make sure there's no difficulties and stuff like that. But then, you know, sometimes, you know, like we like a little baby shower, you know, like we like a little bit.
I think they have daddy showers. I think those exist. Yes, for real, they have daddy showers where dads like go places like to drink beer, or they'll have like a bottle with beer in it. Yeah. They do. Like after this, probably in a couple of hours, I'll even send you the link. They actually have daddy showers.
Okay, I appreciate it, man. Cause like I said, she just tried to change the narrative a little bit, and I'm like, yeah, you know, to even at our baby shower again, like to me, I don't have no problem. Like it didn't know it's all about the woman and stuff like that. But like I said, every now and then it's like it ain't too much about this, about us, and you know, we're bringing a unity and we're bringing in life together and stuff like that or whatever. So, but yes, it is like I say, it's a awesome. Like I said, I'm so happy to be a part of this. It's been like a year and a half of waiting because we shot this. We shot our part February in 2019. So we had to go through all like 2019, then 2020 with the COVID and stuff. So when people like see the trailer, like, oh, your son was so small. We're like, yeah, that was like a year or so ago. So you know, so again, like some of my family members, they knew like I was in it or whatever. But again, seeing is believing, or seeing is like knowing, and they didn't know like the magnitude. So once they finally sent the trailer out, because I got an email like, oh, you know, June we'll send a trailer out. This was like April. I'm like, okay, you know, cool. Then May came. I had like a little countdown. Like, okay, it's about to come. It's about to come. And then it's supposed to drop on June the 2nd. But that was like Blackout Tuesday for all Black Lives Matter and stuff like that. So they put the hold on that or whatever, like, you know, just get the proper time and stuff like that. So they waited like a week or two later and stuff like that. But I'm just so happy for everybody finally at least to see a trailer or a visual of how funny, how super, how dope it's gonna be.
Yeah, and I'm excited, and I can't wait for it to come out because I know I'm gonna get the iTunes app, but after the 7 days over, I'm gonna cancel it.
The power of editing, you edit that whole part out.
That never happened. But man, I appreciate you, bro. At the end of the day, when I think about the film, and I can't wait to see it from the trailer, is that fatherhood, at the end of the day, it is a fraternity.
Yes.
And then if you think about the climate that we live in today with Black Lives Matter and Black fathers are losing their life, And the one thing that's never discussed is the child. For every black father that's lost due to police brutality, the child is fatherless, and we lose another member of the fatherhood fraternity. And like movies like this re-empowers that idea that fatherhood is a fraternity. No matter what race, we are a fraternity. When one person hurts, we all hurt. And I hope that one message will get through when people watch that movie and connect like what's going on in today's society.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right, because I didn't even like think about that, because I always tell people, like, even with my son condition, I'm like, you know, what helped us up is a community that helped us. Like, I'm talking about strangers from all over the world and groups that we found or whatever. And I tell you, like, our motto and saying or whatever, and our slogan is never in a fight alone. So like you said, when this guy or this person, this father, and especially a black father, loses his life, you have another guy from the fraternity that will go in there and raise that child up as his own and school him to the things that need to be schooled and stuff like that. So, like, you know, again, one fall, another one was take its place and stuff like that or whatever. So I'm appreciative of the father fraternity. I'm appreciative of the dad is there now. I'm appreciative of all the great fathers, especially black fathers out there, because it is a lot of dope black fathers out there, but the narrative is, you know, deadbeat dads, you know, baby daddies and stuff like that or whatever. So the stigma and the black, I'm not sorry, the stigma and I guess the dad shaming and stuff, or the narrative of it is way up here, but you don't never see like the great dads up here. So for every, you know, great dad is 5 absent dads and stuff like that or whatever and stuff, man. So, you know, but again, like, you know, we're gonna shift this, man. When this document come out and stuff like that, the things that you're doing and the father fraternity doing or whatever, we're just gonna like shift their narrative to the point they're like, oh yeah, he's a dope dad. He's a dope dad. He's dope. Cause I get hit with it all the time, man. Like, oh, me just an awesome dad. I'm like, okay, I feel like I'm just doing the normal stuff. Like, yeah. I thought I was supposed to take care of him or whatever.
You know what I mean? I don't like using an analogy, but like it's like doing the dishes. Like, oh, you're doing the dishes really well. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
How else they gonna get clean? You know, like,
right? I know.
Like, man, like I say, I guess I know what they're saying, but again, I'm like, well, I know it's absent dads out there, but I'm like, okay, like. He's my little guy. I gotta take care of him. Like I gotta school him and stuff like that. So I appreciate it, you know. But again, man, like I said, I thank you. Thank you for having me on again or whatever. Like this is 2001.
I know. I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me, and I'm really excited about the movie. And I wanted to get your feedback and the whole process and everything. And it's just beautiful to hear from you and get like that behind the scenes vibe of what happened in the making of the movie, you know, because right now Bryce is probably going on like a tour on different media outlets to talk about the film, and it's cool to actually talk to you because you were a part of that film and get your perspective. And it was just it's awesome. It was awesome, man.
And thank you very much. And like I said, another thing I got out of this movie is friendship, because the producers, the cameramen, the mic men like Andre. And we call him Christy, but his real name is Chris or whatever. My son may say call him Christy one time, so it's like a run-on joke. So every time I'm like, "What up, Christy?" but Chris and Andre and Walter and stuff like that, like, yeah, they're producers and they've been on like other projects and other movies and get other credit, whatever. But like to me, again, this is regular old dads or whatever. I'll call and talk to them. We just be on the phone for hours, not even talk about movies and stuff, just like life and what's going on with you. Or they might text me. I'm like, okay, I thought this was like a one and done. Like, oh, you know, you got me, you got me in the movie or whatever. I'm here for you when the movie about to come out, what's going on or whatever. Then after the movie, that's it. No, from 2018 till now, it's like talking, interacting with them, FaceTime them from time to time. So, you know, I got a great friendship out of them to the point now that, you know, if I go to New York, Walter will be like, yo, you know, I know your son is like in acting and modeling or whatever. So except for like getting hotels, man, you know, I got a guest room. I'm like, what? Somebody, here are my keys. He gave me a spare key to his place. I'm like, are you serious, man? He's like, you know, like that, but just off of 3 days, like 3 days of just shooting with us. He's like, man, I love y'all to death, man. I'm like, thank you, man. So I just count those blessings and stuff like that, because to me, I look at like Bryce out like she's a big star, she's a big celebrity, and she's not accessible. Oh
Right.
no, like yo, Bryce, what's going on with you? Oh no, Robert, just chilling, like being a mom,
Right.
but we look at them like bigger than life, but to them it's
Yep.
just yeah.
They're just
So
regular people, man.
yeah, and I appreciate it. I appreciate like like I say I do like sometimes like even like last night before I get off here,
Yeah, no problem.
I was doing like I was doing like a Zoom meeting with a black excellent Terrell, and he had me on or whatever, and I was doing like an interview, and I talked and stuff like that. And so after the interview, he texted me, and we were just talking. So he just shot me like a little text or whatever. I can't say too much, but
No. Keep
he
that.
like he
Keep that
like
to
he
yourself,
like he
bro.
like, he like yeah. Oh, but I was just gonna say like somebody
Yeah.
said I just want to see this email because this person want to reach out to you, whatever. I dropped my phone and started crying. I was
Wow.
like, I said, I can't. I said, this is just crazy, man. Like, and I told him, I said, yo, thank you, thank you. That's why I kept saying, like, thank you, thank you,
Right.
thank you, thank you, thank you. He said, no, man, thank you. Like, this is everything that you should be getting, and this is like what you put out here. This is
Yeah,
what's
man.
received towards you. I'm like, I never, like I said again, I guess I just never like
Right.
accepted that or whatever.
Right.
Like, cause like I said, yeah, I don't look at his hard work. I just look at like,
Right.
I just want to
Right.
put a video out, just have
Right.
fun, but not looking at like the things or how I affect other people, or how other
Yeah,
people look
man.
at me. Cause like again, people look at me like I'm a celebrity, and like look at
Right.
my son like he's a celebrity. But I'm like,
Right.
again, I'm Robert, and he's Chase, and that's how we go
Yeah.
about it in
Robert and Chace.
school. And
Yeah.
I tell him in school to be humble and be
Yeah.
blessed. Like to you, that are your classmates and y'all kids, and just have
Yeah.
fun. You're not above them, and they're not
No.
above you or whatever. So
Yeah.
I said I said thank you again, man. So again, like we got each other numbers, so we
Oh,
just
no
be talking
doubt, man. Oh, all
outside
the
of this.
time.
But I
Oh, yeah,
appreciate the
definitely,
interview.
bro. Oh, yeah, man. That's like a must. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Just to talk to say, hey, how's your day going? You know what I
Uh-huh.
mean? And that's it. It's not even talking about what you're doing and stuff. It's just how's your day? How you doing? How you're holding up? And that goes a
Yep.
long way, man. Like that interview I had with you, that went a long way for me. When you just, I'm interviewing you, talking about you, and you just stop me like, ho, brother. How are you doing?
Yeah.
And
Yep.
that broke that wall, and that makes a big difference, dude. Seriously, it makes a
Mm-hmm.
huge difference, man. And
Yep.
I appreciate you for doing that, and keep that positive train going, man.
Yeah.
It's gonna be some times where it's gonna derail, but just keep
Yeah.
that track on and just keep going, man. And the beautiful thing about the film is that when your son gets older, this is something he can go back to. Like
Mm-hmm.
me and my dad starred in this big documentary.
Yep, yep, and he'll see. Like I said, It's no perfect dad out there, and I always tell like I have my flaws as well or whatever. But
Right.
to me, it's like if you could learn from your flaws and learn from your mistakes, and like actually look at yourself in the mirror and like how can I make myself better today, then to
Yeah.
carry on to the next day or whatever. So hopefully, when he look back at it, he's like, "Oh, I didn't know that, Dad. I didn't know that because all I see is this." I'm like, "Yeah, your dad is
Right.
not perfect. Like I
Right.
might show an image of me." That I am or whatever, but I have flaws as well too, son or whatever. So I said, but I try to correct them much as possible and stuff like that, So that's just me learning as a man, as a
Right.
father, as a friend, as a brother, as an uncle, as a cousin. Just me learning in general, like every day. Like even me doing interviews, I try not to always use like because it's like to me, I feel like that's just derails the mess of the interview and stuff like that. So I'm
Right.
like,
Right.
but I be vlogging. I'm like, yeah, I'm about to do the and I'm like, yo, let me stop that because I don't understand. I don't know I'll be doing it. So I start editing up the video. I'm like,
Yeah.
I keep saying this over and over
Right.
and over, whatever. So I try to get better with even me with talking sometimes. I
Right.
talk really fast. And since I be mumbling my words, I'm like,
Yeah.
slow down just a little bit.
Yeah. I'm learning too because growing up, I had a bad stuttering problem. I used to
Yeah.
stutter a lot when I was little. It's much better now, but at the same time, mentally, I try to catch myself from stuttering, and that's when I'll start messing up. So I
Oh
catch
yeah,
my
me too.
right.
They be trying so hard, like you're like, okay, I
Yeah.
see the word coming or whatever.
Right.
I got it, my body pronounce it. You're like, here I messed
Yeah.
up. Try not messed up. You done messed up.
So when I do when I do like the pre recording for interviews, sometimes what I'll do is I can't just read it all because I'm going to mess up. So what I
Yeah,
do is I cut it. Like I'll do like three a couple of sentences,
yeah,
unrecord it.
yeah,
Do another couple of sentences, record it, unrecord it. and then mashing it together. Because I know if I try to do it for like 10 minutes, I'm going to mess up, and it's going to be hot.
Yeah. And it's crazy, like people that always think like this, they see the end product, like, but you don't see like what we had to go through to get this or whatever. Like, oh, it's like a 60-second clip, but I spent almost like 5 hours on this clip or whatever.
Yes.
So again, like I'm trying to work better with doing interviews, try to think on the spot, trying to like work, like do my vocabulary a little bit better. Cause I got like a little accent sometimes. So, cause even like when I record, how I hear myself. Then how I, when I play it back, I'm like, yo, I sound way different, man. I'm like, why do I pronounce my words like this or whatever? Like, but over the years, like you said, I got a little better over the years and stuff, man. But like I said, just keep working on it and stuff like that. Like I said, keep doing your interviews. Next thing you know, you be flawless with it or whatever. Because I see so many people that do like reviews or whatever, and just be like talking straight through with like no hiccups and stuff. I'm like, what? How y'all do that, man? But they've been doing it for years though. So yeah.
Yeah, man, they work on it. But brother, thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Still, little guy, my love, man. I can't wait for the film, and it's important to give people flowers where they're alive, man. So I appreciate you and appreciate the message you bringing out there, man. So you got my number. You hit me up whenever, vice versa. 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't care. Just say, hey, how you doing? Because I know you're constantly on your grind, man. You got your 9-to-5 job, and then you're working on the brand and making sure little man is getting a school thing together. You know what I mean? So you got the world on your shoulder. So I appreciate you, man.